go. So, good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming to yoga. Um, although I just sat down, we are going to start laying down with a strap. Um, so, grab your strap and let it be at your side. If you want, if you have a blanket and you want a little soft something under your head, feel free to do that. You don't need it for what we're doing. We're going to be moving around just a little bit um, on our mats as we get going. Today's focus, if you're curious, is going to be mostly inner thighs, but some outer thighs and hips as well. So come on down. Oh, and make yourself comfortable. We won't stay too long. It's a little chilly on the porch here. And maybe your legs are straight, or maybe the knees are bent and your feet are on the floor. Just kind of feel where your body needs to be this morning, finding the center of your yoga mat. And then start to let the shoulders descend down toward the floor. Maybe the palms go face up, the palms of your hands go face up. And just start to tap into your breath. The back of your head is nice and even, so you're not lifting your chin, starting to let the chest, the shoulders open up a little bit. And start to take a few nice deep breaths in and exhale it, let it all go. Good, nice deep breath in and exhale it out. Good, couple more right there. Inhale and exhale it. And one more. And exhale, let it go. If your knees are bent, go ahead and straighten both legs and take both arms overhead and just stretch it out like you've just woken up from a nice nap and you're going to stretch out like a cat or a dog. You just want to stretch everything one way and the other way. And then again, big exhale. Let the hands come back down to your sides. Bend your knees, everybody. Take the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to fall out to the sides. Really easy here. If for any reason this is uncomfortable, if you're dealing with any kind of an injury, you can take a block or two, one block under each thigh, or just use your hands to support the outer thighs if this feels like a little too much. And again, just pause here, right? So often we don't think about the inner thighs, all of the inner thigh muscles, and how they can either be strong or weak or tight. It's not an area of the body we talk about much or work with too much. So today's going to change that a little bit. There are a lot of very powerful muscles there that don't get used a whole lot. Often we're very tight on the outer thighs and the hips, and we're not as strong on the inner thighs. So right now we're just stretching. We're just letting gravity take hold here as we relax a little bit. Take another nice deep breath and exhale it all the way out. And then very simply, just start to bring the right thigh, outer thigh to the floor, and the left thigh or the left knee is going to come up and across. So you're not really doing anything. It's a little baby twist, but not a lot. And then the left knee comes back up to center and you let it go to the other side. So it's almost like a little metronome, but once the thigh is on the floor, the other one just comes across the little. Both feet are staying where they are. They'll just pivot from inside to outside and then switch and try to go a little slow here just to feel what's happening. And as you bring one knee up, maybe you keep it going and see how far across it'll go before the other knee has to lift. Just a little stretch here, a little very basic warm up. Good. And let's do one more on both sides. So just stretching it out, bringing it across, and then knee up, stretching and across. And then both knees back to center. Bring your right knee to your chest. Hold on to that right knee. You can take your hands underneath your thigh. Straighten the left leg. And let's just breathe here. And then grab your strap. Take the strap around your right foot. Take the right foot up to the ceiling. If that's way too much, just bend your left knee and let that left foot come back to the floor because our hamstrings are often pretty tight in the morning. So we're just going to stretch that out. The shoulders are down on the floor. We're not overreaching. We're just going to feel the stretch of the back of the right leg. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale it out. Good. One more big deep breath. And exhale. And then bend the left knee. Let that left foot come back to the floor. Take your right foot out to the right side and let the left knee go out to the left side. So again, we're stretching the inner right thigh. Flex your right foot, by the way. Yep, get some energy going there. Your left leg is a counterbalance. So your left knee is going out to the left. It's just counterbalancing. And then see if you can stay on the center line of your sacrum. So you don't want to lift off the left side. That's the tricky part here. And then maybe turn the right side toes down toward the floor just a little bit. So it's just going to change your stretch. Find your breath, everybody. And then squeeze both legs to center. Let the thighs crisscross. And the right leg goes out to the left side. You can switch the hand that's holding your strap. And you might feel a stretch on the outer edge of your right leg. So the iliotibial band, the outer hip muscles, the outer glutes. Good. Relax. Try to breathe here. This is usually a bit more intense stretch for most people. And take it back to center. Bend your right knee. Release your strap. Straighten that leg all the way down to the floor. Straighten your left leg. Maybe feel the difference in just this very subtle stretching. And then bend both knees. Bring your left knee to your chest. Hold it in. Straighten that leg up to the ceiling. Straighten the right leg. Breathe. And then bend the left so you can wrap your strap around that left foot. Hold on to it with the left hand and just stretch out that hamstring. Whew. If you've been doing any walking on hills, not my Florida people, but you're going to feel this a little bit more. And then bend your right knee, put that foot on the floor. Take the left leg out to the left, let the right knee float out to the right. So again, it's almost like a little wide leg pose here, right? Woo! Anybody feeling that besides me? We've been doing a lot of walking. Good. Flex your left foot. So I want a lot of energy there so that the quadricep, the thigh muscle on that side stays engaged. Maybe turn the left toes down toward the floor a little bit. See how that changes your stretch. Don't overdo it, especially if you're working with any kind of injury here. If it feels tight, chances are you're going a little too deep and you want to shorten that up a little bit. All right, squeeze everything to center. Let's switch hands with that strap. Crisscross the thighs. Bring that left leg across the right. Feel that stretch. I really love these leg stretches. They're very effective. They're really safe. The thigh keeps you from going too far. Deep breath, everyone. And then bring it back to center. Listen up. You're going to take the right foot inside the strap with your left, and then hold on to the strap with each hand and take both legs nice and wide. You're either going to go as wide as your legs want to go or as wide as your strap will go. And then pull the strap in a little bit. So use a little bit of muscle energy in the arms because I want just a little bit of resistance on that strap. And then notice if the legs are lower than the hips. How do you know? You're going to arch your back. So try to stay nice and centered with the legs directly above the hips. They're wide, but they're straight in line there. Breathe, push your feet out into your strap, and then pull the strap in. Pull it in, pull it in, pull it in. The legs are going to come back together. Hold here, flex your feet. Whew. And then bend both knees, take the strap off. Set your strap aside. Draw your knees nice and deep to your chest. Place both feet back on the floor. Listen up. So we're back to nice and even. Both feet are on the floor. All I want you to do is lift your right foot off the floor a couple of inches, just a couple, and feel the low belly here. And then set it back down. Lift your left and right. It's almost like you're marching in place, right? This should be pretty easy for most people. I was going to say both people, all two people out there. Breathe. Just march in place. Try to keep the pelvis steady and then pause. Lift your right foot and then straighten it out so it's at a diagonal. If you could put a line across both of your thighs, there'd be a kind of a straight line across your right leg. It's just diagonally pointing up to the corner of the room. Whew. And breathe and just feel again the work here. What's having to happen in order for you to hold the weight of your leg? Breathe. And then bend the knee, put that back, put the foot back on the floor. Lift your left, keep the pelvis level, straighten the knee, should be right about where you want to be, and hold. Yep, just feel that. You can point and flex your foot, by the way. We could be warming up the ankle while we're doing this. And bend, release, lift the right, straighten the leg. We're back where we were. Find your breath here. Engage your belly. Push into your left foot. See if you can lift your hips any amount. And even if you don't lift your hips, feel the muscle energy required to even think about lifting. Good. Lower the hips, bend the knee, foot's back to the floor. Lift your left leg, straighten that knee. Hold, just push into your right foot. You'll feel the muscles having to work. And then see if you can lift just an inch or two off the floor. Right? So what are we working, everybody? Woohoo! Glutes and hips. Breathe. Lower down. Both feet on the floor. Listen up again. Lengthen your tailbone. Lift both hips. Don't go into a big high bridge pose. Just a couple of inches here. Press both of your hands on the floor. So my palms are face down. I'm pushing my hands into the floor. I'm going to squeeze my whole left side leg, hip, and glute, and just see if I can lift my right foot any amount. And then set it down. Lift the left, set it down. And then just see if you can march in place, but I want you to go slow so that you don't start just rocking side to side, right? So it's just slow. Again, this is low belly work. This is core work. Obviously, a little bit of hip work. Good. Just a few more. Breathe. You're lifting, lowering, lifting. Make sure that foot that you lower makes great contact with the floor before you go any further. Good. Let's see if we can do four more. That's 4, 3, 2, 1. Press both hips up and then lower both sides of those hips down. Bring your knees to your chest, everybody. Whew. Rock side to side. Last one here, you're just going to put your right foot on the floor, take the left leg up to the ceiling. Turn the left foot out and then bend the knee and come into figure four. Nice and easy again. You can draw the right knee toward your chest. Try not to flatten your back all the way. Try to keep a little blueberry size space behind the lower back. Feel your hips. Whew. Nice deep breath. See if you can relax your jaw, your neck, even your shoulders. It's really just a hip stretch, everybody. And then lower that leg. Put your left foot on the floor. Take the right leg up to the ceiling. Flex your foot, turn those toes out, and come to figure four on the other side. Bringing that knee up as much or as little as you want. The big thing I think here is one, monitoring the stretch in the right hip in this case, and trying not to round your back, right? We want to go for that big old stretch, and so we'll tend to round our back to bring our knee closer. See if you can find the stretch without the rounding, just for something different. And then release that foot to the floor, release both legs, take both legs up to the ceiling. You're going to use your hands here on the outside of your thighs. So your palms of your hands are going to go to the outer thighs. And I want you to press the legs out, but resist with the hands a little bit. If this is really hard, your hamstrings are just too tight, just bend the knees and bring them back in. Okay. So press the legs out against resistance and then press them back in with some resistance. So even though I'm bringing the knees or the legs back together, I'm resisting that by using my hands. Squeeze them in and squeeze them out, inner and outer thigh work. Good, just two more. Squeeze them in. Resist with your hands as you squeeze out. And last one, squeeze and open. And then bring those legs together, bend your knees, bring those knees to your chest, roll the knees to one side, and come on up to a seat. Ooh-wee. And then maybe you move your blanket and you sit on that blanket instead. If you need to come up higher, like maybe sit on a block, please do that, right? So we're going to stay with these inner thighs a little bit. I want you to, bless you. I'm going to try to mirror here. So bend your left foot or bend your left knee and put that on the floor and just take the left one, the right one. Both are left, right? Take that one out to the side and then flex your right foot. So if I'm mirroring, it's your right leg straight, your left leg is bent, and then lean back, but don't lean back like you're watching TV, right? Keep the chest tall, keep the shoulders back. Squeeze the belly, see if you can lift the leg. Whew. And set it down. There's some quad work. And lift and lower. Good, lift. If this is super hard, please don't do it. Don't lift as high. Good, one more lift and lower. This time you're gonna lift and take it across and then open it back up and lower. Whoo! Anybody feeling that besides me? Lift, just slide. It's like you're sliding it across the table, up. We're just doing one more. Lift, keep that chest lifted. Lift, squeeze, open, and lower. Good. And then just bend that leg. I can tell from the faces out there, that's a popular one. All right. So, other side, one foot to the floor. Lift up nice and tall. Take the other one out just a little bit. And then lift and lower. Nice flexed foot, everybody. And lift and lower. Good. Last one. Lift and lower. All right. We know what's coming. Lift. Just slide it across. Try to be steady and out and lower. Good. Let's do again. Up Swing, open. I know you want to rush through this, don't you? Easy, easy. Good. Last one. Lift, squeeze it across, open it back up, and lower. Good job, everybody. Bend both legs and shake that one out. Oh, all right, let's take both legs wide. Wide is a very relative term. All kinds of everything's relative in yoga, right? Or any kind of movement. Wide for me might be this for you. Some people I know can just practically go out to the side. So please take care of your bodies here. And then sit really tall. Flex your feet and just see if you can lift those heels of the feet off the floor without hurting the knees. And sit super tall. Yeah. And just breathe. And then lower. Relax the legs. One more time. Lift the heels, engage. So these quads are working super hard to get those legs to activate like that. Keep up, keep your body really tall. And then lower down. Slide one leg in, lift the other, bring it all the way across and bend. Wrap your arms around, lift tall. When you're ready, you're going to take that same side straight leg. You're going to take that arm around your knee. Lift up tall. Let's come into a seated twist. Just breathe, everybody. And back to center. If you can, I want you to lift, release, straighten, out, and drop it down. Take the other leg out, bring the other leg in. I love doing stuff without hands when you can. When you can. All right, so we're going to lift this leg. We're going to slide it across. We're going to bend the knee, set that foot down, lift up super tall. Good. And then that same side straight leg, wrap that same arm around the knee and come into a seated twist. Nice deep breath, everybody. Good. Take the torso back to center. Lift that foot. Take it out. You can slide it out. Lower it down. Lift the other one. Widen that out. Holy moly. Sit up really tall. Inhale. Take it up. Exhale, just a tiny forward fold. Some of you are awesome at this, right? I try not to move into my low back on these forward folds. So I stay really upright when both legs are straight. Move the chest forward. Try not to reach with your head. Find your breath. Imagine pulling the legs back into their hip sockets. Good. Release. Come on up. Bend the knees. Soles of the feet together. Now, here's another one where you might feel better if you were sitting up on a block, just to get those hips up a little bit. It's much easier on the groin and on the hips, on the outer hips as well. So soles of the feet are together. I wouldn't worry too much about how close in you can get them. In fact, maybe push them out just a little bit and just pause. So a lot of times when we're here, you'll see students push down on their knees. I don't like that. Don't do it. You want to organically let these thighs open up. And if you want to give them some work, you do a little active isolated stretching, which is hands to knees, push up. Find your breath. And then just softly lower down. Good. Inhale, push up on those hands. Don't push down, push up, up, up. And lower. Good. Last one. Push up. Hold here. Lift the chest. Get really tall. And exhale down. We're only going to do one of these because I'm feeling very nice this morning. If you want, don't have to. One, you're going to stay here. Two, you're going to put the block at the narrowest level between the feet. Please don't do this if your hips are already feeling super tight, because this increases a lot of stretch for most people. And if you were feeling really like spunky later, we won't do it today. You go to second width and then third width to really stretch these inner legs. Good. Breathe. Just sit tall. And maybe even close your eyes here and feel, where am I feeling this particular stretch? And is it too much? Like, where am I at? When we stretch, we release endorphins. And if we're already flexible, that is harder to reach. And so, if you're already flexible, you tend to stretch almost too much to get there. So, and if you're really flexible, draw it in a little bit, push into the block a little bit, right? So when you're real flexible, you want more muscle engagement. If you're really tight, you can let those babies go a little bit. All right, hands to outer knees. Bring those legs up. Just squeeze that block between the feet. Whew. And then grab your block, set it aside. Let's come on up, everybody. Let's get off our behinds. Come on up to your hands and your knees. That's where this blanket, it comes in the most handy. So we cushion our knees and make sure we don't get anything irritated. So hands and knees, table pose. And a few cats and cows here. Let's just stretch out. And maybe you're feeling some sensation in your thighs already. And then come back to neutral. Press your left leg back and tone into the belly. Just lift the leg. Find your breath. Turn the toes out on your left foot. Turn those toes out to the side. And notice that the glute muscle gets engaged. From here, I want a little baby pulse. Just a little. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn the toes down. Release that knee. Press the right leg out. Tone in through the belly. Lift the leg so it's nice and level. Turn the toes out. Feel the outer glutes start to engage. And then pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn the toes down and release. If your hands, wrists get cranky at all, just shake them out. And then let's go right back to the left side. Tone in, lift up, turn the toes out. So one, you might want to hang out right here and maybe pulse just a little bit. If you're feeling so engaged, take that leg out to the side and drop the foot down. Your right hand stays on the mat. The left arm comes up. Little baby twist here. Deep breath, everybody. Really deep breath. Just feel that. And then exhale, hand comes down. Here's the hard part, right? If we're going to work those thighs, especially inner, see if you can lift and hold. Outer hip work. And then slide it and release it down. Please don't do anything your body is telling you is not a good idea. Up to and including the whole class, right? So we're back to the right side. Lift the leg. Turn the toes out and just feel that. I love that hip engagement just by changing the direction of the foot. 1, you're here, little pulses. 2, you're going to slide the leg out to the side of that hip. Drop the foot down. Find yourself nice and steady. Left hand stays down. Right arm goes up. Nice deep breath. Exhale, take that hand down, both hands underneath the shoulders. See if you can lift the leg and hold any amount there. And then slide it back and release it. Flip your toes under, come to downward facing dog. So once you're in down dog, let's pedal those feet. Find your breath. Come all the way up to tippy toes. Lower the knees until they're 1 inch or 2 off the floor. And then squeeze your belly in like you were going to have a plate of food put on your low back and you don't want it to spill. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then press back to downward facing dog. Good. Engage the shoulders, engage the upper arms. Just one more here. This is core works. Lower the knees. If it's a little too much, the knees come down. And you'll notice when you lower the knees, your back wants to sag. Pull it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog. Good job, everybody. You're going to step your feet wide on your yoga mat. Walk those hands back. Probably one of my favorite ways to get up. And then bend the knees. Take your hands to your knees and come on up to standing. Whew, roll it out. Let's move our blankets off our mat. And grab your strap and just lay it. You're going to have to probably go sideways just for some wide leg stuff. So lay it on your mat. It doesn't have to be right in the middle. It just has to be, you're going to step on that strap. So get it nice and long and then step on your strap. And then start to go a little wide and hold. Good. If it's slippery at all, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, nice forward fold. So once again, I want you to think about the inner thighs. How do we engage the inner thighs in a pose like this? Now, if your hands don't reach the floor, I want you to take your hands to the legs. So don't just hang. That's really hard on the back. So either fingertips to the floor or hands to blocks, or your hands go to your shins and get good support there. Think about engaging your inner thighs. I want you to squeeze the legs together isometrically, right? It's as if you had a beach ball between the legs. You're trying to hang on to that beach ball and feel those inner legs start to get active. And then push the feet out isometrically and feel the outer hips. Good. Squeeze the legs in and then press out. And then reach over and grab one end of your strap and reach and grab the other end of your strap and press the feet into your strap and press your legs out. So I'm holding onto my strap pretty tight. I'm trying to create some traction here and then pull up on the strap and come up to any amount of standing. If your strap's not real long, you're going to be more halfway. Watch your back. Good. Push against the strap. And then bend the elbows and come on down. It's almost like you're lifting kind of weights, and that weight is your upper body. Squeeze in through the belly, lift up. Exhale, squeeze down. One more right here. Just lift up, lift up, lift up. Hold on to that strap. Push the legs out. And then lower down. Let go of your strap. Heel toe in just a little bit so that you're just wider than hips width apart. Bend the knees, grab your strap, and come up to standing. And then press your feet against that strap. So it can be really subtle here, but I want you to feel the difference. Imagine that you could take your pinky toes wide without actually changing anything. Good. And just watch the lower back, Celeste in particular. Watch the arch there. I would tuck in more. Yep. And breathe and pull into your straps. Like you're going to pull this strap up off the floor and feel the work. And then release it. Ooh, good. Step off your strap. Come on up to the front of your mat. That'll make more sense later. So you're at the front of your mat. Maybe you have your blocks there. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down. Bend your knees and step back with your right leg. If you have a block, take that block underneath your right hand. You can take it low or medium. High might be a little wobbly. And then take your left hand to the outer left knee and push your left knee, outer left knee into your hand without letting that knee go out to the side. Does anybody feel that? Yeah, right? That hip is going, excuse me. Release that and just sink into your Sink into your squat or your lunge a little bit, and then take the same hand to the inside knee and try to push the knee in. The knee's not moving. You're trying to push it in. I've got the palm of my hand, whatever works for you. Pressing in, trying to push that knee in and release. Good job, everybody. Move your block out of the way. Step back, downward facing dog. Find your breath. Come to plank pose. Breathe. Notice. You're going to lower your right knee. I'm sorry I didn't cue a blanket here. You're going to lower your right knee right underneath your right hip. Kickstand your right foot out. Shift your right hand in a little bit and come to this nice side angle. I don't even know what this is called. Do you, Celeste? Gate, similar, right? Yeah. And then lift that top leg or that long leg up so it's level with your hip. Big tone to the belly, big length through your tailbone. Take the top arm up optionally. Flex your foot. Breathe, squeeze your back, your hip. Take that top hand back to your hip. And you're going to drop that foot down as if you were going through mud. And then lift it up just one. And then squeeze it down through mud. Good, just one more. Lift up. Last one, squeeze it down through mud. Let it stay. Put your hand back on the floor. Come back to both knees. Yeah, I know. Crazy, crazy. And downward facing dog. Shake it out, everybody. Look through your hand. Step forward with your right foot. You're going to grab your block. Take it under your left hand. You can always lower, I should have said this on the first side, you can always lower your left knee, by the way. And then you're going to take your right hand to your outside right knee and you're going to push and engage the hips. I love isometric work for strength training. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Feel that. Oh. And release. Take that same hand to the inside knee. Push the knee in. Don't let it move in. Keep the resistance. Nice tone to the belly. Breathe. Oh, yeah, lots of work happening there. And release. Hands to the floor, everybody. Move your block out of the way. Step back, downward facing dog. And then lower your left knee. When you lower it, it's going to go right underneath that hip. You can straighten your right leg. Kickstand the left foot out. It gives you a nice wide base of support. You may need to adjust your left hand in a little bit. Drop your right foot and come on up. Nice tone to the belly. Lift the top leg. That's all optional. Big deep breath. And then same thing on this side. You can even lower that top hand so it's at the hip and then drop the foot down like you're moving it through water and then squeeze it back up again. This is all going to challenge your balance. Squeeze it down and lift it up. Last one, squeeze it down and lift up. Let that hand come back to the floor. Pivot back to both knees. Lift up, downward facing dog. Take your feet wide on your mat. Walk your hands back on purpose. Bend the knees. Come on up. And shake it out. Shake out your wrists. Yeah, we're all getting warm now. It was chilly this morning. So you're going to go a little bit wide, and this won't be for everybody, but I think for most everybody we can do this. All you're going to do is squat down, and it's an easy squat. Don't go too deep. And choices here, you're either going to put both of your fists in, and you're going to try to squeeze in. If you have the room and the flexibility to go to elbows, You're going to push your elbows to the inside knees, and you're going to try to close those elbows. Good. Breathe. You can even lift your toes, sit way back in your squat. Anybody singing a happy song right now? Squeeze. Release the squeeze. Hands to your knees. Come on up. Ooh, I know, right? Who thought inner thighs could be this much fun? Bend again. Hands are to the outside. You're not doing elbows. That's kind of awkward. Hands to the outside. Squeeze your belly. Push out. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Really push, everybody. I mean, to your level. Don't overdo it, but make it work for you. And then release and stand up. And shake it out. All right, so let's come to our block. Grab your block, come to standing. Take that block up nice and high in the thighs and squeeze. Just squeeze. That's all you got to do. I do too. Yeah, I love this. Carrie was saying, I love this one. I do too. It just feels like everything comes back to center. And then see if you can lift your toes. Just lift the toes. Find your balance. Squeeze your block. And let go. Now, tricky here, a little bit of balance. If you're near a wall and would like to use it, you can put a hand to the wall. You're going to squeeze the block and just see if you can lift one foot off the floor. Find a spot that isn't moving, ideally. Squeeze. Notice. And then just see if you can bring it forward. You can use your arms for balance. And then bend it again. You can bend it as much as you'd like. If it doesn't hurt your knee, you could even reach for your foot, right? And then release, bring it forward one more. Stand tall on the other leg. And let go. Whew. And shake it out. Good. Other side. First, you got to get this kind of really good grounded squeeze, especially to the inner line of the feet. If your feet are rolling out, it's much harder to do this. So you really want to press down through the big toes and then shift into one leg and see if you can bend the other. Even if you tap a toe, right? It's good work. The standing leg getting a ton of work here. You can bend that knee as much as you want and then slide it through and lift it forward. Good, nice tone here, right? Good core support. Bend it, squeeze. You can reach back for it only if you want. And release, take it forward. And let it go. Good, just for fun, take it second width. This is not good for some people, right? So be mindful. If it's too much, go back to narrow. And then see if you can ground the inner thighs. Hands to hips. Lean. See if you can lift one. Throwing that body off balance can throw you off. Slide it through. We're only doing one. Bring it back. Set it down. Squeeze the block. Do you remember gym class? They used to give you the big balls, the big rubber balls, and you would have to squeeze that ball for your inner thigh work. So funny. It reminds me of like Jane Fonda, or who was Suzanne Summers thigh work lift. I am so showing my age. Breathe and then slide it through. Woo. And release. Take that block out. Shake it out, everybody. So it's really kind of interesting to me, right? The block gives you a lot of stability. So here we are again. Now we have no block. I want you to stand really tall. Hands can be at hips or they can be out more like, kind of balance beam. So bend one knee, bring it up to your chest. Take it down, don't let it touch. You're going out to the side. Here's your outer thigh. I want you to see if you can squeeze it in and then back out again. I know, one hand to a wall, right? The standing leg side. Squeeze it in and out. Imagine you're bringing this leg through water. Squeeze and shake it out. All right, stand tall, everyone. Last one, last side. Hands to your hips. Remember, lift, bring it to your chest. Smile. Bring it down to your side. Don't let the foot touch. Take it out. And hold. Often we have one leg stronger than the other from a balance standpoint, and then squeeze it through water. And open it up. Woo! Squeeze. Try to keep the toes pointing the same way. And out. Last one, squeeze. And out. And lower down and shake that out. Woo! What? What are you saying out there? Come on back to the front of your mat, everybody. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down, bend the knees. Step back, right leg. Make sure your pose is nice and wide. Take your hands to your knee. Lift up to lunge. Your right knee can be on the floor here. Inhale, reach up. Imagine you're squeezing those legs to center. And breathe. Exhale all the way down. Hands down. Your right hand is either on your block or on the floor. Let's go up to a twist. There you go, Carrie. Yep. Right hand down if your left leg is forward. Left arm up if you can, or don't. Breathe. Exhale, hand down, everybody. Set your block out of the way. Down dog. Breathe. Good down dog, everybody. This should feel pretty good. We're going back where we were. Lower that right knee. Straighten the left leg. Kickstand the right side. And come to your side pose. I used to call this quarter moon because that's what it felt like to me. So, yep, that leg goes back. Carry more toward the hip, toward out there. Yeah. Breathe. Squeeze your glute, everybody. Take the top arm up only if you want. Leg up only if you want. Breathe. Lower the hand down. Lower the knee down. Downward facing dog. Find your breath. Plank pose. Tap the knees for 10. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, core work, 3, 2, and 1. Good job, down dog. I know that was a tough one. Right foot forward. Lunge here, knee up, knee down, hands to your knee. Come on up to just a nice little lunge. Squeeze the inner thighs toward each other. Find your breath, find your smile. Exhale down. Hand is to the floor or to a block. The right arm goes up as the left arm stays down. Nice job. Let that come on down. Step back, down dog. Breathe, everybody. Whew. Lower the left knee. Last one, last side. Kickstand out. This is tricky in that it's hard to find the balance. And one of the ways to find balance is to press those hips forward. Lift the leg if you want. Lift the arm if you want. Tone the belly in. Use your breath. And then lower the hand, lower the knee, child's pose. Hallelujah. Use your hands for a pillow. If this is hard on your hips or your knees, just lay on your side. Find your breath. Notice your work. And then come on up. You're going to want your blanket across where we're going to lay on our side. So you're going to want that blanket, which I just messed up mine terribly, where your hips would be. So generally speaking, kind of right at the middle of your mat. And then lay on I'll try to mirror here. Well, I'll just mess you up one way or the other. So lay on your side. I think you can follow me okay. Have a block near you. If you happen to have a pillow and you want it under your head, feel free to do that. Otherwise, you're going to just lay on down and bend the knees. And find yourself comfy here, hopefully. Your knees are bent roughly 90 degrees, but then lower the knees slightly. So it's not quite 90. And then keep the feet together, lift the knee. This is simple clamshells. This is stuff you probably have done many times before. When you lift that knee, you should feel the back glute muscle engage. If you lift that knee too high, you'll just keep on going and the hips will go askew. So lower that knee and lift and squeeze and lift and 4 and 5. Let's do 5 more. 5, 4. Try not to rock. Your hips should be nice and steady. Last one. Squeeze it and hold. Just squeeze and hold. Now leave the knee where it is and take the foot up to level out with the knee. So it's like you're setting that whole knee to ankle on the table. And then pulse that up. Just pulse. Yep. The knee is bent. Soften everything that you can. The head, neck should be relaxed. And breathe. Good. Hold that leg and straighten it. So it's straight down toward the front end of your mat. Turn the toes down and lift the leg until you feel that outer hip engagement. Yep. And then pulse again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it halfway. Slide it up to your hip line. Slide it forward. And then slide it back. Just one more of these. This is a whole bunch of work here. Slide it forward. Slide it back. And just lower it down right where it is. You'll feel a stretch in that outer hip. I want you to bend that same leg and put that foot on the floor. Bend that same knee, put the foot on the floor, the knees pointing up toward the ceiling. Straighten your bottom leg. So this is an inner thigh exercise that maybe you used to do at the gym. Again, we don't do it very often. So if my right leg is on the ground, I'm going to flex my right hip and I'm going to lift that right leg off the ground. Your left foot is just there for support. And then pulse that lower leg a few times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it just a little higher, just a little higher. There you go. Good, good. And lower it all the way down. Whew. And just relax for a moment. We got the sun is out, which is a beautiful thing. All right, so you're going to turn over. I'm going to flip over so I don't have my back to you this whole time. Ah. And you're going to cushion that head again. Bend the knees to 90, but then just lower them a little bit. It's interesting with clamshells. There's different theories on this that if you lower them just a little bit, you'll be able to target that outer hip more. See what works for you. The feet stay together, the knee raises, and just raise and hold for a second because I want you to feel where you're supposed to be there. And then let's lower and lift. 10, 9. You should feel a squeeze at the top of that every single time. And 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Just hold. You should feel that muscle engage. The belly's toned in. You're not leaning back. And then take the foot up so that it's level with that knee. Ooh. Anybody feeling that one? Let's pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Straighten the leg. Breathe. Flex the foot. Turn the toes down a little bit. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Slide that leg forward. Woo. Slide it back. One more. Tone your belly. Slide it forward. And slide it back. Good. Release that. Just stomp that foot on the floor. The knee points up. Straighten the bottom leg. Flex that foot. Squeeze your belly in and pulse that bottom leg up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just hold. Just hold it. Just hold it. Just hold it. Breathe. Those inner thighs, boy, oh boy. Woo. And let it go. Woo. Bend both knees, everybody. I'm just going to flip myself back around. You're going to want your block. You can come onto your backs and have your block handy and maybe your strap. So I would just grab everything before you get down there too comfortable. And just pause here for a second. Bend the knees and bring them up to basically 90 degrees. So from my hip to my knee is a straight line. From my knees to my ankles is a straight line. Press the feet together. Take the hands to the outer knees. And then press out like you're doing butterflies and back in. Press out and in. You're resisting both directions and out, in, out. Squeeze it in. 3, 2, and 1. Squeeze. Bring those knees to your chest. Grab a hold of your block. Take the block between your knees. At the narrowest level, put your feet back on the floor. Squeeze your block. Just squeeze it. Nothing else to do. The upper body should be fully relaxed. Just squeeze. Release the squeeze and squeeze one more time. Nice, easy breath here. And release. Bend the knees toward chest. Take that block second level, second width, I should say. Feet back to the floor. Squeeze again. Woo. We're all going to feel like we've been riding a horse. Squeeze and release that squeeze. Good. One more big squeeze. And release. Bring that that block back up, turn it to the third level, the third width, adjust your feet, squeeze in, squeeze, squeeze. Ooh, release the squeeze. Last one, big squeeze, everybody. And release it. Bring the knees to chest, take that block out. Both feet are on the floor. Lengthen your tailbone, lift your hips up. Let's come to bridge pose. Mhm. So bridge pose, the hips are off the floor. The tailbone is super long, right? We're lengthening that tailbone down toward the bottom of the glutes. We're pulling the heels of the feet in a little bit to keep the hamstrings active. That helps us stretch these thighs a little bit more, which we need for bridge pose. Just awesome. Good. Everyone breathe. Just hold here and lower down. We're almost there, everybody. We're in the finish line. Breathe. So we're going to lift the hips again. This time you're going to want your block. Lift the hips, take your block under your sacrum. Make sure it's not at your low back. I say that every time. Make sure it's right below the hips there, right on that hard bony sacrum. And then both knees to chest and both legs up to the ceiling. This is not for everybody, but it's a lovely and accessible inversion. Kind of like putting your legs up the wall, which you could do if you're near the wall. Find your happy place here. The legs are just going to hover in space. Shoulders are down. Maybe you close the eyes. Hmm. Start to soften everything down, right? Let everything relax. As long as this pose in itself is comfortable, just see if you can surrender to it. Let the body be heavy. Breathe. One, you're going to stay just like this for a little bit longer. Two, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together and come into this very strange Baddha Konasana. You can reach the hands through and just hold the ankles just for support, but don't try to pull them in or pull the knees out or anything. It's just the legs going wide again. Sacrum is heavy on your block. Few more breaths. And then wherever you are, go ahead and bring the knees back to center. Place one foot on the floor and then the other foot on the floor. Lift up, take the block out. Lower down. Bring your right knee to your chest. Straighten your left leg. Wrap your hands underneath your right knee or your right thigh. Take that leg straight up. Point your toes and flex. One more time, big point, big flex of that ankle. Circle the ankle and circle the other direction. Bring that knee to your chest. Bring the left leg in. Switch sides. Right leg straight, left leg in. Take the leg up to the ceiling. Hold on to that leg with your hands. And then point and flex. Big point, big flex, and then big circles, as big as you can make those circles with your ankle. Circle the other way. And bring that knee to your chest. And then both legs nice and straight for Shavasana. If having your legs straight doesn't feel good to you, feel free to bend your knees. Let your feet stay on the floor. Your arms come down along your sides, your palms are face up. Soften your jaw, your belly, your legs. Try to relax and settle into your mat. Soften down even more. Start to wiggle your toes. Start to bend the knees. Draw your knees to your chest. And just squeeze those knees in and rock a little bit side to side. And then allow your knees to roll over to one side, coming into fetal pose, curling over. Just taking a moment here. And as you're ready, press all the way up. Find a nice, easy seat. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, one hand down, one over. One hand up, the other one down. Inhale the arms up. Exhale both to your heart. Roll the shoulders back. Bow to your own inner wisdom. Have a great day. Namaste, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Another beautiful day. Have a great day, everybody.